Hi everybody, this is Late Matolia. Today we are discussing about the interview sessions in C and C++. So, predict output or error in the following snippet. We are having one function definition as void test int a, int a1. We are having two arguments in the test function. Now we are printing the value of a and a1. In main function, we are declaring one variable integer a equals to 20. Now calling the function test a, plus plus a. And then we are printing the value of a and plus plus a. So what is the output of this question? In C, every program starts from main function. Now first it will read integer a equals to 20. So in function test a, plus plus a. Now in function parameters is solved from right to left side. So plus plus a is executed first. So 20 we are having incremented value as 21. So 21, 21 we have passed these two values to the function calling part. So value is associated with the a and a1 variable. Now by calling this function we are having the value of a and a1 is equals to 21, 21. Now you are having some function prototype like this. Suppose if you are calling a function, then it is going to the function definition. Now after executing this function definition, it again comes to the function calling part. Now it will print the value of a and plus plus a in main function. Now what is the value of a and a plus plus a? It will print 22, 22. So what is the result? So answer, in test we are having 21, 21. In main function we are having value 22 and 22. What is the explanation? For any C function call, arguments will be passed from right to left. Thus, test function gets and prints a and a1 value as 21. After the test function statement executed, value of a is 21. When printf function is being executed, value of a will be 22. Now we are discussing about the second question. Predict the output in the following snippet. We are having one function definition as void check. In this we have created one static variable int I is equals to 1, then I plus plus, then printf. You can print the value of I. Now in main function we are calling this function two times. So what is the property of static function? Static variable consists their value as persistence, means their value remains unchanged. So suppose if you are calling this function check function, means it retains its value throughout the program. So check function first time calls, so I equals to 1. Now you are incrementing I by 1. So current value of I becomes 2. Now it prints 2. Again check function call, now it will print 3. Okay, so what is the output of this question? First check function calls, then it will print 2, and second check function calls, then it will print 3. So what is the result? 2 and 3. So predict the output or error in the following snippet. We are having one integer function. Now we are printing the value of out, and after that we are writing integer out is equals to 100. In C you are printing, your statement is executed from top to the down. Now suppose if you are printing out before your declaration, then it will generate some error. So what is the error? So we are having compile time error. Undeclared symbol out in function main. What is the explanation? The rule is that a variable is available for use from the point of declaration, even though out is a global variable, but it is not available for main function. Hence an error results. So what is the solution for this problem? We have to declare out variable as external type. So in main function you can declare extern out. Now you can print value of out, and global variable out is having the value 100. Now in this question we are having the result out is equals to 100. Fine. Predict the output or error in the following snippet. We are having one main function, and then in main function we are calling main function. Okay, so what is the output? We are recursively calling the main function here. So this will generate some stack overflow. So runtime error is generated as stack overflow. So what is the explanation? main function call itself again and again. So this is known as recursively calling to the main function. Each time the function is called, its return address is stored into the call stack, since there is no exit condition to terminate the function call. The call stack overflows at runtime, so it terminates the programs and results in an error. So this program will generate runtime error. So what is the output of this code? We are printing the size of void star, int star, double star, struct unknown star. So we are printing the size of pointers. So every pointer's default size is 2 bytes. So void star generates 2 bytes, int star generates 2 bytes, double star generates 2 bytes, struct unknown star generates again 2 bytes, depending upon the system architecture. If you are using DOS, then it takes 2 bytes. If you are using Windows environment, then it takes 4 bytes. So what is the result? A is equals to 2, B is equals to 2, C is equals to 2, and D is equals to 2. Now print the output of this question. We are having one character pointer variable str1 is equals to abcd, character str2 array type equals to abcd. Now we are printing the size of str1, size of str2, size of abcd. So size of str1 is having the size 2. str1 contains the address, and address will be in integer range. So integer is having the size 2 bytes in DOS environment, and if you are using Windows environment, then str1 generates 4 bytes. Size of str2 contains the number of characters in an array plus null character size. So we are having 4 characters A, B, C, D. So 4 plus 1. So what is the size of str2? We will having 5. Size of inverted comma ABCD will print the size 5. So what is the final result? 255. Fine. Okay. Now next question is what? What are the local and global variables? So we are discussing about what are the local variables and what are the global variables and what are the properties of local and global variables. Now we are discussing one by one. So what is the local variable? These variables only exist inside the specific function that creates them. Fine. Second property, they are unknown to other function and to the main function, means its scope is local to the main function. Now local variables are allocated memory on the stack. Stacks follows the last in first out technique. Last in first out techniques means if you are entering some element into the stack in the top order, now in pop case we are removing the element from the top of the stack, and they choose to exit once the function that created them has completed execution. Now they are recreated each time a function is executed or called. Local variables are not initialized automatically, but local variable is having the default values as garbage value. Their scope and life is limited to the function in which they are declared. Now what is the global variable? So these variables can be accessed by any function contained in the program. Now these variables are visible throughout the program from the point of their declaration. They do not get recreated if the function is recalled. To declare a global variable, declare it outside all the function, means you can declare before the void main function. So this is known as global variable. Global variables are normally initialized to 0 by default, but local variable initialized by the garbage value. Global variables are allocated memory onto the data segment. Next property, if a local variable declared with the same name as a global variable, then the function will use the local variable that was declared within it and ignore the global variable. So what is the scope of static variables? The static class. Static has a lifetime lasting the entire program. Static storage class can be specified for automatic as well as global variable. The value of static variable in a program is retained between repeated function calls to the same function. Static variables are allocated onto the heap area. Static variables are normally initialized to 0 by default. Initialization is done only once at compile time when memory is allocated for the static variable. The scope of a static global variable is only within the file in which it is declared. So these are the basic properties of static variables. Now, what is the difference between static and global variables? Static variables are local in scope to the block or file in which they are defined, but their lifespan is throughout the program. Fine. A static variable inside a function cannot be called from outside the function because it's not in scope but is alive and exists in memory. It retains its old value between function calls. What are the global variables? Global variables persist throughout the program. Scope is also throughout the program. Global variables can be accessed from any function, any file in the program. Okay. So what are the volatile variables? So volatile variables means it indicates that a variable can be changed by a background routine. Every reference to the variable will reload the contents from memory rather than take advantage of situation where a copy can be in a register. Volatile means the storage is likely to change anytime by code outside the control of the user program. It means that if you reference a variable, the program should always read from the physical address and not its cached value. So we are taking one example. A volatile keyword is an instruction to the optimizer to make sure that the variable or function is not optimized during compilation. For example, suppose if you are taking integer a is equals to 1 while a. So in the above example, on compilation, the compiler assumes that the value of a won't be changed during the execution of the program. So the compiler is free to ignore the while a loop instruction during optimization. However, if the a variable is changed outside this program control, say by an interrupt routine or by some other thread, then it is advisable to declare the a as a volatile variable. Fine. Now, what is the use of auto keyword and register keyword? So automatic variable is known as auto. So an auto variable is visible only in the block in which it is declared. Auto storage class are not initialized automatically. You should either explicitly initialize them when you declare them or assign initial values to them in statements within the block. The value of uninitialized auto variables are undefined. So what are the register variables? First property, the register keyword specifies that the variables is to be stored in a CPU register. A register keyword for variables and parameters also reduces code size, which is important in embedded systems. Fine. Now we are having some other questions. How do we make a global variable accessible across files. Explain the extern keyword. So we are taking one example for this question. So extern variable is what? Variable initialization should not be done with extern. If a variable is declared in one file but referenced in another, the extern keyword is used to inform the compiler of the variable's existence. Note that keyword extern is for declaration, not for definition. An extern declaration does not create any storage. Okay. What is the function prototype? So function prototype means a function prototype is a declaration similar to variable declaration. Function declarations are generally placed in header files. It tells the compiler and the programmer what is the name of the function, what are the type of output written by the function, the number of types of inputs, code arguments if any, the function expects to receive, and the order in which it expects to receive them. Fine. So next question is what? How do you access command line arguments? This is an important question. How to access the command line arguments? So what are the command line arguments? A program is started by the operating system by calling a program's main function. So main function is the only function in C that can be defined in multiple ways. It can take no arguments, 2 arguments or 3 arguments. The 2 and 3 arguments forms allow it to receive arguments from the shell, means from command line. So command line arguments means if you are passing arguments to the main function from the command prompt, then it is known as command line argument. The 2 arguments form text and integer and an array of string. So when defining main function arguments, any name can be given, but it is convenient to call them as ARGC and ARGV. ARGC stands for argument counter, ARGV stands for argument vector. The first argument ARGC holds a count of how many elements there are in the array of string passed as the second argument ARGV. The array is always null terminated, so ARGV of ARGC equals to null. The integer ARGC is the argument count, hence ARGC. It is the number of arguments passed into the program from the command line, including the name of the program. The array of character pointer is the listing of all the arguments. ARGV of 0 is the name of the program. After that, every element number less than ARGC is the command line argument. You can use each ARGV element just like a string or use ARGV as a 2-dimensional array. So we are taking one example, void main. In this program we are having one argument as integer ARGC, comma ARGV of array type, then integer I. For I is equals to 0, I is less than ARGC, then I plus plus. Now we are printing the value of I, comma ARGV of I. How can the environment list be passed to a C program? So we are having one example. So in main function we are having 3 arguments. One is the ARGC argument counter, ARGV argument vector, PPENV environment variable. Now we are writing one integer count variable CLRS here. Now by using this code we are printing all the environment variable you have set into the computer system. So this is the code for printing your environment variables. So we have written count equals to 0, count less than ARGC, count plus plus, then count and ARGV of count we are printing. Now suppose if you want to list all the environment variables, then we are using while loop star PPENV not equal to null. Now you can print the value of star PPE environment variable plus plus. So it will fetch all the environment variable which is defined by the system and user defined also. The environment list is passed to the C program using the third argument of main function. Fine. So this is the answer for this question. Okay. Now this is an important question. Write a program that finds the factorial of a number using recursion. But what is the condition? The program should not have any new function defined. You have to use only and only main function. No need to define some other function. Okay. So we have taken one example for writing this. First we have created one static variable integer as variable 5. Static int result equals to 1. Now result equals to result multiplied by variable, and variable is decremented by 1. Now we are printing the value of result. If variable becomes true, then it will call main function recursively. It becomes 0, then it will come out of the control. Okay. Now this will print your factorial number as 120. So predict the output of the following snippet. We are having one character array type variable s, and we are having some value as sea. Now we are having one variable integer I. For I is equals to 0, s of I, then I plus plus. Now it will print s of I, star of s plus I, star I plus s, then I of s is having the value same, but it will print s as 4 times, e as 4 times, and a is 4 times. Now it becomes null, so it comes out of the loop. So we are having the result as s 4 times, e 4 times, a 4 times. So what is the answer? S S S S, E E E E, and A. Explanation is what? S of I, star of I plus s, star of s plus I of s are all different ways of expressing the same idea. Generally, array name is the base address for that array. Hence, s is the base address. I is the index number, or you can say displacement from the base address. So, indirecting it with star is same as s of I. I of s may be surprising, but in the case of C, it is same as s of I. So what is the disadvantage of using macros? So we are discussing what is the macro. Macro invocation do not perform time checking. There are two disadvantages. Macro invocation do not perform type checking. Second, hash define. If you are using multiply as macro a comma b and then in multiply by b. Now in main function, suppose if you are calling to the multiply macro 1 plus 2 comma 3 plus 4. Now we are having the value a as 1 plus 2 multiply by 3 plus 4. So we are having the multiply as the high priority. So 2 multiply by 3 becomes 6. 6 plus 4 plus 1. It becomes 11. So in the above example, the answer will be 11 and not 21. Because the macro will be expanded as 1 plus 2 multiplied by 3 plus 4. Since the star operator has higher precedence than the plus operator, the value will be 11 instead of 21. To get the correct answer, the macro should be declared as hash define multiply in bracket a comma b bracket close, and then in bracket you can write a and b. Okay, so what is the value of the expression 5? Then interview. So it will print V. The string literal interview is an array and the expression is equivalent to interview of 5. The inside out expression is equivalent because a of b is equivalent to star of a plus b, which is equivalent to star of b plus a, which is equivalent to b of a. So this question will print the answer as single character as V. What is a null pointer? A null pointer is conceptually different from an initialized pointer. A null pointer is not to point to any object or function. An uninitialized pointer might point to anywhere. In stdio.h, null is defined as 0. Whenever a program tries to access 0th location, the operating system kills the program with runtime assignment error because the 0th location is in the operating system address space and operating system doesn't allow access to its address space by user programs. So define function pointers. So function pointers are pointers, i variables which point to the address of a function. A running program gets a certain space in the main memory. Both the executable compiled program code as well as the used variable are put inside the memory. In C, each function has an address in the code segment. This address may be stored in a pointer, function pointer, and later invoked from this pointer. So this is the mechanism that is commonly used in callbacks and virtual function tables. So how do you initialize a function pointer? Give an example. So we are having one example. We have declared one integer display function int star function underscore ptr, then brackets. So this is the function pointer. So you can associate the address of another function in the function pointer. So you can write func underscore ptr is equals to display. Now printf, address of function display is %u, then func underscore ptr. So you can invoke the function pointer. Now you can display, so you can write printf hello world. So in this program we declare the function display as a function returning an integer. So int star function underscore ptr. In this statement we are declaring a function pointer by name func underscore ptr, which returns an integer. If we glance down a few lines in our program, we see that the statement func underscore ptr is equals to display. Here func underscore ptr is being assigned the address of display function. To invoke the function, we are just required to write the statement as star func underscore ptr. So this is your function pointer. So basically function pointer will call the another function. So function pointer contains the address of the normal function. So you are declaring func underscore ptr is equals to display, means it internally calls the display function. Now it will print the hello world because we are calling star func underscore ptr. So this will print your result as hello world. So fine. So today we are discussing till now. We will discuss later new questions and new concepts on these C and C++. So thanks for watching my channel. If you are having some query, then you can visit to my website npltech.in. You can also write, if you are having some problem, then you can mail to us at npltech85@gmail.com. You can visit to my blog lalitmatolia.blogspot.in or npltech.blogspot.in. So thank you for watching this channel. I will upload the new concept on C, C++ and some more concepts on the Android programming. So thanks for watching my channel.